This is not a made-up country. This was actually real. Va, not made up. It's real. So if so so during so this is actually real. The Polish-Lithuanian-Ruthenian Commonwealth. I know I said that 2 times, but this is the flag. Like, you've probably seen this flag hundreds of times already, and if you're not a historian, you probably already know this. This is its claim brand, but don't. But if you see this Wikipedia, don't copyright me. I know, copyright me. I know it says Wikipedia there. Please don't. Yes, this took place during the January uprising, which was not just January. Ooh. So, and we have all these helpers, and also known as the help, and also the Italians wanted to help by making their own legion. The French, British, and Hungarians, and with the Land of Liberty and the... I do not want to news. Sorry. And the Zelensky Committee, and then the other side that the defenders are the Russian Empire, Warsaw, Vilna, and Kiev, with supported by the Kingdom of Prussia. But this time, the Kingdom of Prussia didn't support, and it was just Warsaw, Vilna, and Kiev. This time, the Kingdom of Prussia went to the other side. So, too bad. Russians lost, and then we having the kingdom, the Polish-Lithuanian-Ruthenian Commonwealth. Sorry, my voice can't resemble it. So during this, Joseph I becomes the first king of it. He was crowned. Well, he had to give up his musicking, composing, and had to be a big man. During the 7 Weeks War, when Otto von Bismarck asked him, "Hey, do you want to join the Austro-Prussian War?" And tired as he is, the Prime Minister is about to respond yes, but the king responded first, saying, No. He was too busy on his music. But then 4 weeks later, when Otto von Bismarck asked again and said, "The Austrians are pretty weak," he was like, "Yes!" And guess what he did? Invading the Kingdom of Galicia and Lodomira. That's, I think, what it's called. I'm not sure. Franz Joseph I does not like your opinion. So they went like this. Great. And also, just forgetting, the Germans controlled this. Take this. But the Joseph I is not a huge fan of the now North German Confederation, but he signed a pact with them, which means he has to wait until 1888. I did not make that up. Like, until the King Wilhelm the First, or if you're in English, you could like, "Hey, it's not William the First," then William the First for you. But if you want to be professional, a normal person, then Wilhelm the First for you. I think people are not okay with it. So during his reign, instead of being instead of being an actual king and doing his people, he decides to be a musician instead and does some music composing and more music composing until he gets tired of it and decides to be a real king in the year when at July 4th, 1873, his death. Americans like, what? Surprising. Yay. I mean, Americans be, what? Yay. We're in July, but 4th of July was the sad day of the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth, so it'd be like American, like, come on, that was the best day ever. Okay, if I'm saying this and the government hears it, then I'm screwed. Sorry. I wasn't offending. I was not. So please. But then on September 14th, 1873, a new king was crowned. Joseph II. Like, Joseph II was crowned. Like, you're thinking, like, no, Joseph II will immediately go to his crown after his father dies. Nope. If you hear me, you won't trust me. Let's take an example. Let's take a look on Alfonso the 12th here. You really think that after this guy dies, his newborn son who didn't get to see his own father would be crowned immediately? You would think that a baby that's still in its mother's stomach would be crowned immediately? Think again twice. Since this Spanish king did not just became king immediately once he was born. I gone to Romania for a weird thing. Oh, so you think after the father died, the literal grandson just takes control? Yes. I think after a grandfather died, but and a dad who is confused and has to accept his own becoming a king when he's like this. He even got, what is this? And Michael the First of Romania. Yeah. No, not when he was king. Not when he was like, not when he was like when he was like when he was born, but when he was in his mother's stomach. We're going to crown Michael the First as our new king. Yeah. How do you feel? Like if they did the coronations, it would be weird for a mother putting a crown in her mouth. I don't want to continue saying that. A father who doesn't know what to do, his life gives birth to you after realizing that she probably ate her own crown. They divorced. No, with the crown stuff, I need to put off before I get literal epic boom by YouTube. Oh wait, hold on. No, this guy was 6. He was 6. Sorry. Think I made a mistake there. I thought this being 1927. Like, oh, and he died when he was 96. I made some mistakes there. Hopefully YouTube doesn't go fake demonetizes. Back into the video. Joseph has good and hoping to reform the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth. which gets rid of the Kingdom of Ruthenia. But he did some good reformations. But then World War One, the Russians had to join in, so they had to. The Germans wanted to counterattack the Russians, so Poland was their first target. Dang it! People are going to be so mad at me, but I can take anything. Wilhelm II doesn't know what his grandfather did. You know what your grandfather did? You would have invaded Romania instead. Which I just mentioned Romania and that weird thing, which I thought was true, but no, he was 6 when he was king. Wilhelm wanted to be extra. This is just after 1914, and then after the Christmas troops. This is after 1916. This is 1917. They fully recovered. This is 1916. 1917. Ooh, and this is 1918. They got a little extra. The peace treaty. Hey, they don't gain much, but hey, that's what they want to say. And this is the first time they team together. Oh, and I forgot. He dies at 1908. Sorry. He was there for, also known as Polish-Lithuanian-Ruthenian. So now, decided to do some, reforms. During the Ukrainian War, considering 1925, this is when the Polish get involved. Well, this time the Polish decided to go full on joining the war and making it part of the European Commonwealth. I say the Kingdom of Ruthenia. But this time, the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact has started early, and this time they could be split. So Louis-Leopold Poniatowski has to be careful with the Russian Empire and the Weimar Republic, since they may want to gain their lands. But then soon, Mustache Man rises into power more early than expected. This is what he does. The Polish try to stop it by implement 10 sanctions, which makes the German economy fall even harder than makes the German economy more stable and falling more than the Great Depression. Because why should I need to include the Great Depression? If anything includes anything, and if America makes it, it's the Great Depression. Okay, I have to continue. I don't want to talk. I don't want people to say, Hey, you're being rude to me. Okay, I'm not being rude. Simple as that. Now the Kingdom of Poland wants this, so they annexed it to get some more land to make it fair to themselves, which makes himself angry at himself, which makes no sense. You really want Louis-Leopold Poniatowski to be angry at himself, and also forgetting this is part. Oops. So the Polish didn't do that good during the Great Depression. I will include the Great Depression, but then during 1932, a great recovery came. So that's when the fourth partition of Poland happens. Yes, the fourth time. Like, are you kidding me? This time, it's called by the Germans and Russia. Time with a greater military. The Germans invade this land and the Memel region, or Cladopedia. Meanwhile, the Russians take on their lost territories. This happened from 1947 since the hard. This could take easily. But then during the peace treaty, it's going to be so unfair for the culture going to lose the land they got is small land which stays since they don't want border war. So Louis, instead of being like a king and staying in his country, decides to flee. He decides to flee instead since the fifth partition of Poland may happen soon. So he leaves his own country. Well, this time the government had to be handled with Felijan Slolakowski. Did I say it right? If you're a Polish person watching this video and I spelled it and I said it incorrect, just please correct me, since I may not be good with Polish names, but I'm getting better. So he became prime minister of that man. But I have to put something since this is because Poland's about to form anymore, and it makes some people go to London and the other go to Paris. So it chooses Paris as its hiding destination when the Germans start invading. But then if the Germans make it to Paris, then they have to flee to London, which is exactly what they did. But instead, they had to go to Angers first, but then flee to London. Angers is a city in France, if you don't know. But Poland is not yet lost. Okay. The Germans and the Russians decide to invade it again. But now the Commonwealth got split, and now 1941 they decide to finish it off, and the people haven't fled, but the Prime Minister just runs all the way to London since France is a neighbor of Germany and they're not going to see the invasion. The Russians begin to finish it off. The Russian Empire. this is sad. Just seeing this. Poland is not yet lost. Poland.